Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Shadow version of Blaziken now in the Open Great League. And honestly, it started kind of bad for me. Like the first two games that I played, I lost with this Pokemon, but afterwards I think I went on a 6-game win streak with this Pokemon, which is kind of wild. Is it good? Maybe. It really depends on the cup, I think. For the Open Great League, it can be good. As you can see here, we can farm on the opponent. We will have a ton of energy now against whatever comes in, which is going to be the Nidoqueen. We will be able to go for one Blaze Kick, which we get to pretty fast. And we will be able to also just go down here and let this move go through. But yeah, we're going to do a ton of damage with our fast moves against no matter which Pokemon we're going to face, because it doesn't matter if it's resisted or not. Stab counter from such a squishy Pokemon from a Shadow version just hurts. It doesn't matter which Pokemon it is, it just hurts. I think even against Ghost type it would hurt. But yeah, this team worked out pretty well for me. Of course, I have the double. If you don't have a double, you can also use something like the Vigoroth. Vigoroth would also work, I guess. But here we're going to encounter now the Deoxys defense. We saw Lurentis already. And what you have to do for this Blaziken to work, you definitely have to keep your shields alive. Otherwise, you don't have a chance with this. Now, this Pokemon is amazing in the I want to say in the zero shield, in the 2-shield scenario, but horrific in the 0-shield scenario. So definitely try to keep your shields. As you can see here, I'm going to shield up, of course. That's exactly what I wanted to say. But I'm going to get hit by another charge from the opponent. But I will be able to go for a Body Slam now. And I'm hopefully going to get the final shield of my opponent. Which I do because they want to realign, which they can do. I have 2 Pokemon that's very good against the lead. I don't really care about what they have in the back. Very likely could be the Bastiodon, and it's going to be nearly a Bastiodon. It's going to be a Sudowoodo, which is kind of funny. But we can just go ahead, go for the Blaze Kick here, and this Blaze Kick going to knock out the first one, and we can go ahead and farm down this Sudowoodo. They can go for that charge move all they want. I don't care about it. A Rock Slide coming through, and we can just farm them all the way down. Good game there. Next opponent, Altaria against Deoxys. Pretty decent lead for us. We don't really want to have the Deoxys in the back, but also if they have a Rock Slide, it's going to be a super effective move against us. So let's see what they're going to try to do here. We're going to see the Psycho Boost coming through. So they're going to swap out most likely, and they're swapping into a Snorlax, which is fine for us. Again, we have to use one shield, but again, we're going to get a ton of energy. This shield, investing like this shield here in general, going to allow us to put so much pressure on the opponent that we're mostly going to get either one shield back, as you can see here, or even 2, because they're going to have Brave Bird. And yes, Brave Bird going to land on a Pokemon later on, that's for sure. Here we're going to see the Altaria coming back in. We can shield one Rock Slide. It's going to be super effective. I can go for my Moonblast here, which does a little bit more damage than the Sky Attack. As you can see here, we're going to put them into farm down range with that. They're going to go ahead, go for one Psycho Boost, no, for one Rock Slide here. And we see the Obstagoon coming in. This seems to be kind of a bad matchup for us, but Dubwool is so amazing. This Pokemon just generates energy so fast enough to knock out the opponents. Obstagoon here as well. And we can say goodbye to them, and they're going to be basically down now. Goodbye there. I cannot even talk anymore. That's very nice. We're going to see the next opponent here. We're going to see also the Trevenant against us, and we're going to also see the Galarian Stunfisk against us. Galarian Stunfisk going to be a pretty okayish matchup here. Something that you can win, but only in the 2 shields really. Issue is, of course, their fast move is going to do a lot of damage, as well as a Rock Slide going to be enough to knock you out after a while. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. Here we're going to see the Trevenant coming in, but sadly, I am not going to be able to reach another Blaze Kick, because sadly, our bulk is just not enough to survive those Shadow Claws, I guess. We're going to see the Shadow Ball coming through. You're most likely going to wonder why I didn't go into my double first. This is the reason, because I can still catch a move onto my double, which will allow me to have a better matchup here right now. I'm going to have a ton of energy now, and we're going to see the Registeel coming in onto my Payback, which is amazing because it's the move that I want to throw against them anyway. They didn't catch the Body Slam at all. And I have to shield up the move coming in, which is going to be the Focus Blast. Fine for me. I can go ahead and go for my own Body Slam here right now. Let's see how much damage it's going to do. They're going to get... Actually, they're not going to shield this one, which I actually expected that they would shield this one. So I can go for another one. They are not going to shield this one either, and I can farm them down with my Altaria. I have a move stored. They're forced to go straight for the Shadow Ball here. And they do exactly that, which is a smart decision. But now I can just go ahead and go for the Body Slam bait first. And honestly, I make a mistake here. I should have went straight for another Body Slam here, which would allow me to most likely put them into a range, knock them out with one more fast move, or in general knock them out. But luckily we just barely survived the Seed Bomb there. I wasn't sure about this one, was a little bit of a riskier play. But we can now take a look at the next opponent. They're going to encounter a Noctowl against us. This is going to be an interesting one, as we're going to be able to just go toe-to-toe here. We can just go ahead and go for the Sky Attack against them, but they're going to swap into their Galarian Stunfisk, and of course we will be able to go for our Blaze Kick here. Their best bet is to shield this one up, which they're going to do as well, because what they can do now is they can force another shield from me. And honestly, this is a game that I misplay quite a bit, because I didn't really count the energy of the Noctowl, and I didn't know that they were already a move, which is going to hurt me right now. So yeah, they actually need one more fast move though, but like I could have thrown my charge move. I wanted to go for the Brave Bird, it didn't work out whatsoever. And that's going to hurt me quite a bit, as you're going to see here right now. I can go ahead and go for another charge move now at least. Maybe I can knock them out, we will find out shortly. We can knock them out, and we're going to encounter a Swampert in the back. I just had the reflex to swap immediately to my double. My little sheep boy here going to be able to go for a Body Slam, forcing the shield from the opponent, which is quite nice. And I will be able to now take the Earthquake from the opponent as well. Can go for my own Body Slam. This Body Slam will do quite a bit of damage against them. I can go ahead, go into my Altaria, and we should be in the spot where we will be able to survive one more Hydro Cannon from the opponent, as we're going to be able to farm them all the way down. Good game there. Next opponent, we're going to see Galarian Stunfisk against us. We can go ahead and go into a double. We can go ahead and go for some Body Slam spam here. And this Body Slam spam going to be very, very nice for us, as they're going to shield this move up. I will be able to go for another charge move here as well. Going to be the Body Slam again, of course. Going to do some decent damage against them. As you're going to see now, the opponent going for their own charge move, going to be the Weather Ball coming through, as they can go ahead and go for our own Body Slam. This will do quite some damage here, as we will be able to now hopefully... we're not going to farm them down, because I feel like I kind of rather keep the shields alive for my Blaziken. They're going to go ahead and go straight for the charge move here, Weather Ball is coming through, and hopefully Blaziken can sweep this endgame. We're going to see the Galarian Stunfisk coming in, we're going to see the Trevenant coming in. Two Pokemon we're supposed to beat, but as you see already, Shadow Claw is adding up quite fast. We will be able to now win CMP though against them, so this is going to be the HP we're going to keep for the rest of the battle against the Galarian Stunfisk. We can do some quite decent counter damage here, and we try to go for the Blaze Kick, but we just barely don't get there. Now it's the matchup against the Altaria. We have a little bit of pre-damage there, which is not really ideal. We're going to shield up, of course, the move immediately, but we have to try to get to the Moonblast, I feel like. Let's see, can we get to the Moonblast? They're gonna go for the Rock Slide. We are just so close to it, and honestly I make a mistake here. Because I know that a Sky Attack does knock them out, I should have tried to still go for the Moonblast. And I think I should have been able to get there, because I still survived this one Mud Shot and another one as well. But then I'm gonna go down, so this is less than ideal, but still good game there to my opponent. Next opponent, we're going to encounter a Ninetales against us. You might think that's going to be a very bad matchup for us, because they have Psyshock, but of course we will be able to shield up our Weather Ball, but this is not all we can do. We can just go ahead and let the next move go through. They didn't go for Psyshock, this was too early, and we can just farm them all the way down. Goodbye there, and also we're going to be able to get our shield back. So this is like a thing with the Blaziken. You have to invest one shield, but you're going to get this guaranteed back there anyway. Here we're going to now be able to swap into our Altaria before the opponent was able to swap out of here. This is going to be very good for us, because we get some extra energy, and now the Galarian Stunfisk is up against our double. We have to hit one payback in order to have a chance to win this game here. So we're going to let the first move go through, which was not really ideal from us. We can go for our payback now. This payback going to land against the opponent. At this point of time, the opponent going to forfeit. Good game there. Next opponent, Galarian Stunfisk in the lead, which going to be not really the best one for us, but we're going to swap out here into our double. If I haven't shown you how great double can be, this is going to be the battle you want to watch, because you're going to encounter now this Venusaur. We can take one charge move from them, and that's not all. They think they can take one Body Slam, but they don't know what we have in the back here. Payback coming through, Payback going to knock them out straight away. And for this one we can go for needing another Payback there, but they're going to have to throw a charge move, which is fine for us. But yeah, a very nice play there. Also, if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the showcase for Shadow Blaziken here with the move Brave Bird, then definitely leave a like on the video, would help me out quite a bit. I would appreciate it, as you're going to see the Mandibuzz coming through now. Should have stopped out earlier a little bit, but I didn't see that they're going to have the move Air Slash as a fast move. Mandibuzz is a Pokemon that you rarely see nowadays. Was really common back in the day, but nowadays it's not really the best Pokemon to use, as there are a lot of alone Ninetales as well as Lanturns around, so not really the best Pokemon to use for that one. We're now going to be able to go into like the matchup here with Altaria against the Galarian Stunfisk. Our only play here is try to shield everything, try to farm them down. We are no shields down, but we're going to get them too low for them to survive, so we're going to be able to farm all the way down. And you see already Blaziken is doing a great job here farming down the opponents. It's a lot of fun to play this Pokemon, just because it does so much damage to the opponent just with the fast moves, while still being itself very squishy. And still kind of fun to play though. Like, you can sweep opponents endgame with that, which is going to be interesting. Here we're going to be able to encounter a Lantern in the lead. I'm actually swapping out here. You might think it's a little bit risky because you have a fire type in the back, but honestly, like, I feel like Blaziken can just farm down from this range. Just use 2 shields, farm down, easy peasy, going to be pretty decent. But yeah, my opponent going to already go for 1 Thunderbolt and 1 Surf, allowing me to go for 1 Body Slam. I can go for another Body Slam, hopefully knocking them out and also realigning my Pokemon. Let's see what's coming in. It's coming in a Trevenant. They have to go for 1 charge move here. I can go for the payback otherwise, I thought. And this is a huge issue now. The opponent has so much energy because they literally perfectly farmed me down. If I had 1 more HP, if I had just slightly better IVs, I would have been able to win this matchup there. And like this, I'm now in against the Frosters, which is supposed to be a good matchup for me, but honestly, you're now going to encounter the Resisted Avalanche against a Blaziken. Enjoy this one. We are at 66% of our health and we are now at 0. This is how squishy this Pokemon is, and if we just had this 1 HP more on our double, we would have been able to get to the payback, would have either knocked them out here or got the final shield, which would have allowed me to knock out the opponent earlier already. But yeah, sadly we didn't, so this 1 HP sadly lost us the game, which is kinda okay. Like, this is like how IVs work. That's why sometimes you really need good IVs in order to win games. This is where IVs matter. But yeah, we're going to see the next opponent going to have the Pelipper in the lead. That's definitely the matchup that we want to see, as both of our fast moves in the back going to be resisted from the Pelipper. We see the Hurricane coming through, which is amazing for us, and they're going to go ahead and catch a move on the Dunsparce. Do I go into my fighting type Pokemon? No, I'm gonna go into my Dubwool. Main reason for this is Dubwool is bulkier, Dubwool going to still do super effective damage with my fast move, and Dubwool will be able to get out of this matchup without using a shield and with a ton of energy. While if I went into my Blaziken, they would have got to a Drill Run in time, and Drill Run would have knocked me out. So I'm going to have to go into my Dubwool here. I can take 2 moves, we are still not even in the red health area, and we will be able to now go for some charge moves. Sadly, my opponent wins CMP. Sadly, I have to use a shield here, but they're going to have to let this move go through here. Hopefully something in the back that I can deal with. Well, let's see, it's going to be the Galarian Stunfisk here, and my opponent makes a weird play. Why do you not go for Oxide? I have no idea why you not go for Oxide. I would have still survived it, I think, at this point of time. But what they do instead is they go for the Earthquake for whatever reason. Now we'll be able to go for the payback still, which going to hopefully do enough damage. Yeah, we're going to knock them out here. As said, we are definitely going to see a Brave Bird landing today. Hopefully it's still going to happen, but yeah, it's going to definitely happen, right? We're going to see the Toxicapex against us in the lead. That's actually something that I've faced quite a few times, which I found interesting. Toxicapex, of course, a very bulky poison plus a water type Pokemon, which has the move Sludge Wave, which is going to hurt us quite a bit, so we swapped out here. My opponent makes a great play, and this actually, honestly, I didn't count the moves of the Dubwool correctly. I thought they needed 1 more fast move, and yeah, we can say goodbye to our Blaziken because we are not going to be able to farm down. I thought of forfeiting there already, but I was like, maybe we can still play that out here. Most likely not, but maybe there's still a chance. If I went for the fire move there, maybe I would have been even better off, but this was like literally so badly played by me. I just could have maybe counted a little bit better, but yeah, we see a Scrafty in the back there. Was nothing I could have done anyway at this point of time, so that's going to be fine. Final opponent, I said we're going to see a Brave Bird somewhere in the video, and that's going to be it. Definitely. We're going to encounter here now the Sableye against us. It's going to be an interesting matchup. You're going to see me here doing something weird, because my opponent going to shield this one, and against Sableye, I will be able to go for 2 paybacks in time. if they don't go for the return here, which they don't, with just a few HP, which basically allows my opponent to flip switch, which seems weird because they have Swampert in the lead. I have the best answer for Swampert in the lead, and they're most likely going to have something to counter my lead in the back, as well as they're going to have, like I have to then have the Swampert against my, Blaziken, but my main play here is I just rely on Blaziken. Blaziken going to be my one that's going to kill the Swampert, and this is basically the main thing I'm going to play for right now. But to accomplish this is I kind of have to get 3 fast moves advantage. If I don't get 3 fast moves advantage, this game is over, because the opponent going to be able to now get a shield from my Blaziken through the Noctowl, because it has a lot of energy stored. But as you can see there, I got my 3 moves advantage, which means we can say goodbye to this Swampert, because you can go for the Brave Bird and we're just going to annihilate this thing straight away. Goodbye, we're the better starter and we can farm down the Noctowl to win this game. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. On the screen you're going to see my last video on the left side and the top teams of the Great League on the right side, so click on them if you're interested, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.